What is going on, guys? Welcome to episode 23 of our Cincinnati Bengals franchise. Today, it's draft day, and we got some work that we got to do. So we're looking at offensive line first and foremost. I know that we signed Nate Solder in that trade, and then we got Cordy Glenn here at left tackle. So the tackle spots are pretty old. Nate Solder's an 8-year pro. He's 31. Cordy Glenn is 29 years old. He's a 7-year pro. So, yeah, left tackle, right tackle, got to get a little bit younger there. Guard play, possibly need a backup to Clint Bowling because we're probably going to let him walk after this season. And then Johnson is relatively young. Price is relatively young as well. Now, here's the thing. We could draft a center. Drafting a center is not out of the question because Billy Price played both center and guard at Ohio State, and he was really good at both. So we'll see how that plays out, and if there's somebody available that falls and he's a really good guy, then we should probably add him and let Price play one of the guard spots. Probably right guard so that Bowling can still play, and we'll just, like I said, we'll just kind of see how that plays out. But definitely tackle, definitely tackle. Guards and center, we're just gonna have to see what falls to us. Tight end, probably don't need one, even though Noah Fant out of Iowa is pretty dang good and pretty dang intriguing, but Croft's a 79, and I highly doubt that Fant's going to be above a 79 or even a 75 at that matter. So, you got CJ here at 74, so we'll see how that happens, but or what works out there. In regards to running back, with Giovanni Bernard here, he's only got one more year left on contract. So this is his final season. And with Joe Mixon and Mark Walton kind of being the same type of running back, the same type of scheme, elusive, we don't really have a pounder, right? We don't have a pounder, and we don't really have a receiving back. I mean, Joe Mixon can catch the ball. He caught the ball a lot at Oklahoma. Mark Walton caught the ball at Miami, so I guess I misspoke there. But, Giovanni Bernard, that's kind of his role, right, in this offense, is to catch the football. I feel like though the missing link with this offense is to have kind of a guy that can pound it a little bit. Maybe we can address that in free agency. We can sign a guy to 2 years if we find a guy that we like, so we don't necessarily have to draft a running back. But it is kind of a concern when you've got Mixon, who's only got 2 more years left. I'm not sure how the money thing is going to play out. I would like to re-sign him at some point, but like I said, sometimes you gotta plan for things that you might not see coming. So you definitely have to plan for the unexpected. As hard as that is, sometimes you have to. Wide receiver, in respect to these guys in this core group, we got AJ Green 92, Ross at 77, Boyd at 75. So, I mean, this isn't a bad group. It's just I think the offensive line was so bad last year that Dalton literally had no time to throw. And when we did throw and these guys caught the football, we had quite a bit of yards after the catch, especially on those drag routes or those in routes. John Ross on a couple deep flies. I think this offense can do some good things, but getting an early wide receiver, it's up for grabs. Because, like I said, we definitely need a guy that's going to complement AJ Green at some point. And when we go and we look at the salaries here real quick, after I go over the defense, you guys are going to see why it doesn't really matter what we do this draft, because there's always going to be some type of issue that we're going to face here in 2019 and 2020. So really, it's almost like just take the best player available. That's kind of what my mindset is at this point. I know that we need offensive line. That's the number one goal here. But as far as skill position guys, I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about here in just a second. But when we look at the defense, we do not need to address defensive line. We got a lot of these guys locked up for quite a while. Corner, we're pretty darn deep in. We might want to trade a guy like Brandon Carr, who we signed to like a 1-year or 2-year deal, or Dre Kirkpatrick. Maybe trade some of those guys. Maybe trade just one of these two. Just trade one of these two, get another pick back, and then try to address some of the offensive issues as depth goes. Hey, it's a very possible thing to do. Jesse Bates is the clear-cut starter. I don't feel like I'm going to be addressing free safety at any point. Middle linebacker, definitely want to draft one. Try to get another young guy in. Outside linebacker, may have to consider drafting one or at least signing another guy from free agents. And then strong safety, Sean Williams is no spring chicken. He's 28 years old, 6-year pro. This is kind of where you start seeing a drop-off, especially with the speed department trying to catch some of those faster offensive players. We probably need a younger strong safety, which is where Jaquan Johnson comes in, a guy that I really like. Doesn't really fit the scheme though, but he's a guy that I really do like and appreciate his game. So with that being said, let's take a look at the salaries, because this is going to affect our draft strategy for sure. So if we look at just going position by position here with years remaining, like I said, we don't really need to address quarterback right now. It's not a very pressing issue. Andy Dalton's with us for another 2 seasons. Driscoll and Barkley we're going to lose after this year. Maybe we just sign both of them. We just re-sign both of them at a minimum and bring them on back. Not an issue. Giovanni Bernard gone after this season. So that's a concern for me, because like I said, we don't have a guy that can pound it. Now Gio can't pound it, but I guess my point being is that there's literally nobody on this roster. Maybe Hill. No, he's an elusive back. All these guys are elusive backs, right? We don't have a guy that can pound it. And that's kind of a concern going forward. Hewitt, gone after this season. Look at this wide receiver issue. Green, Boyd, Core, Listenby, they're all gone after 1 season. Ross and Malone, we got 2 more seasons with these guys. AJ Green is going to ask for a ton of money. And quite frankly, we're going to definitely have to get that signing bonus, the available bonus, up in order to try to sign him. This is going to be an issue, trying to bring him back. At 31 years old, like I've been saying, guys, we may need to draft a wide receiver at some point to try to replace him. It'd be one thing to try to draft a receiver late and you're not sure what you're going to get, or you draft the number 1 wideout in this draft that is going to work out. Tight end, Crofton, CJ. I'm just going to say CJ because I'm not going to attempt it yet again. I've tried to look it up on YouTube, and there's so many people with pronounce it right, pronounce it wrong. I don't know. But tight end, not really anything to worry about. Cordy Glenn for 2 more years. So the Cordy Glenn thing, if we draft a left tackle, that'd be a perfect scenario to groom a guy behind him and get him ready when Cordy Glenn is gone. Clint Bowling, he's gone after 1 more year, so we do have to consider that. We did sign Reeder for 1. Right guard, probably not an issue here with longevity. Nate Solder's with us for 3 more seasons. Right ends, left ends, we're good there. Defensive tackle, we are good there. We're all signed up. Outside linebacker, we can probably re-sign both of these guys, Bell and Vigil, for cheap. Derek Johnson's is just a 1-year rental. Middle linebacker is probably a concern. Right out, Burfict and Jefferson. I like what I see there. And like I said, we may not even decide to sign any of those left outside linebackers yet again and just have Jefferson become the starter there. As far as corners go, this is kind of an issue too. William Jackson's going to be asking for a lot of money as well. We got Russell and Brandon Carr on a 1-year deal. Other than that, everybody seems to be pretty solid. Darius Phillips, I hope he can get it going a little bit out there and at the practice squad, because he's a pretty good player from Western Michigan. But yeah, so we're gonna have some issues trying to re-sign both William Jackson and AJ Green. Jesse Bates locked up, and then strong safety, we're okay. But I would still like to add Jaquan Johnson if he's there, if he's available. So in review, offensive line is a major part of this year's draft. Running back, whoever's available, we have to consider drafting more of a pounder. Wide receiver, we got to consider what we're going to do there. Try to get a guy in here who's going to become the number 1 if we can't sign AJ Green back. And it looks like we might be able to, guys, near the end of the year, because look at the available funds, 15.5. But again, He's 31 years old. How many more years has he got left, basically? So that's the issues on offense. As far as defense goes, not really too much to worry about. And like I said, maybe we might want to try to condense a little bit, try to trade one of our corners to try to nab another pick, get another pick out of it, right? And then as far as linebacker goes, not a major concern, but something that if it happens to fall to us and the best player available, like Devin Bush, is sitting there, we got to do it. We got to do it because then that's our middle linebacker of the future. So that's what we're looking at, guys. So let's go ahead. I know that's a little bit winded, but let's go ahead and get into the 2019 NFL Draft. And just so you guys know, what I'm going to be doing right here is I will be just skipping ahead each and every pick, because what happens is you can't actually go back into the draft board and see like who the Giants took, right? So basically this is how I'm going to do it. I'm just going to go ahead and skip, go to advance, next pick. So they took Jonah Williams. Put this on pause here real quick and just give you guys one more look at the draft board. So you got Ed Oliver, Nick Bosa, Herbert, got to change that. Greedy Williams, yeah, some pretty dang good players. N'Keal Harry, very good player. DK Metcalf, Rashawn Gary, Devin White, really fast linebacker. AJ Brown, a lot of good players. Greg Little, there's Devin Bush right there, guys. 17 overall player. Trey Adams, number 18. We do need some left tackles here. We don't have a mid-round pick. We're near the late end. So we're kind of looking at these guys right here. We're kind of looking at like Deontay Thompson, Jaquan Johnson, Wilkins, position that we don't need. I'm not taking a first-round running back. Could go with Noah Fant if he's there. But again, like I said, we have Croft and CJ right there. Levante Taylor at corner. Could end up taking Levante Taylor at cornerback, but look at his awareness, D. He runs a 4.3 though. That's really good, that man coverage. No wonder he can hang with you guys. If he's running a 4.3, he can hang. Could draft him. Get rid of one of our corners actually to replace, to get Taylor in and replace like Brandon Carr for another pick. Maybe we can just jump back into the first round and get a guy like David Edwards. It's really going to be kind of weird to see who is available. Here's a left guard, Bo Benschwal out of Wisconsin. A lot of Wisconsin guys. A ton of Wisconsin guys, actually. There's Martez Ivy at left guard. That run block, though, at the 70s, that's kind of project-y. Michael Dieter would be really good. B+, B-, B-. B, B-, B-. Yeah, both of these guys out of Wisconsin, right? So, all right, let's go ahead and see who everybody is going to be taking here. So, skip. Ed Oliver, no surprise. Jeffrey Simmons. Well, I don't even remember him being up there that high. Raekwon Davis, defensive tackle, going to the Bears. Farrell going to the Seahawks. Colts on deck. Greedy Williams going to the Colts. And N'Keal Harry going to the Buffalo Bills. They need a wide receiver really bad. Ooh, wow. They got Kuechly and Bosa. Wow, guys. The Cleveland Browns are on the clock here. DK Metcalf to draft another wide receiver. Go figure. That's what the Browns do. Arizona Cardinals get Devin White. I like Devin White. Rashawn Gary here. Right end out of Michigan goes to the Broncos. So now they got Bradley Chubb and Rashawn Gary. So that's actually really, really awesome for them. Taking a look just one more time at who is available here. Now we got Devin Bush, Little, Locke, Brown, Harmon, Greer, Herbert. So let's see. There's 4 quarterbacks, 2 wide receivers. Yeah, Trey Adams is still on the board. Mac Wilson is on the board. Jaquan Johnson's still on the board. Like to see that. Noah Fant, tight end, still on the board. David Edwards. Okay, all right. We're doing good. We're doing good. Whew. I hope Jaquan or Devin Bush falls to us. There's Greg Little. No. No. Oh. Oh, the Ravens. The Ravens divisional rival sneaks in and gets Devin Bush from us, guys. Wow. Okay, well, we got to move on. We got to move on. And he's a 77 overall, too, guys. 77 overall rookie right there. Got to keep going. Heel Boy's going to love that. And then look at this now. Trey Adams gets taken as a 75 left tackle. Yikes. Mac Wilson, middle linebacker. We might need to make a trade here soon, guys, because nothing right here in this first round is like standing out to me. Other than Jaquan Johnson, A.J. Brown, Kelvin Harmon. Because look at this. You see what I'm looking at here, guys? If we decided to pass on like a skill position guy and we went into the second round projections, like if we went with David Edwards, let's just look and see what's available here. So we got Kahusti at the second round, Mitch Hyatt at the second round. Look at these combine grades, 5.3, 5.5. Let's take a look. Dalton Risner and David Edwards, 5.8s. It's a little bit better. We might be able to take those two guys. Dieter at a 6'4". Froholt at a 6'1". Huh. Interesting. And these guys are flying off the board too. And especially considering that there's not a whole lot left. We might need to make a move here to get these guys on our team. I never even scouted this guy, Brandon Faneca. He's got a 5.8. That's actually not bad. Look at that, 3-cone and 20-yard shuffle. As a power, that only means one thing. He's pretty good at lead blocking. All right, let's. I'm gonna take a gamble here and just see where everything's going here. Kelvin Harmon going to NC State. Christian Wilkins to the Titans. Justin Herbert goes to the Dallas Cowboys. They need a guy like that. Josh Allen going to the Jaguars. A.J. Brown going to Ole Miss, so we missed out on some of our wide receivers. Michael Jackson going to the Rams. Will Grier. Wow, so he's going to trade his blue and gold for blue and gold. All right, my Detroit Lions. Who you got? Deontay Thompson, free safety out of Alabama. Pretty good pick here. All right, so let's see what the Raiders are going to do. Brian Edwards, wide receiver out of South Carolina State. Huh. Interesting. All right, so we're on the board here, guys. We are on the board. Wow, so pretty intriguing, right? We got Drew Lock on the board. We got our boy Jaquan Johnson, Noah Fant, Levante Taylor, David Montgomery. I'm not even considering, like I said. Risner, Edwards, Lewerke. Not taking Lewerke, just not even considering it. Ben Schwal at left guard. Some pretty good players here. But again, when you make this pick, guys, when you make this pick, you got to consider something, that nobody here on this board is going to be available by the time the pick comes back. So when we make our pick, we want to make sure that we get the guy that we want, right? Michael Dieter would be really good for us. Look at those top 10 numbers. It's pretty solid. Very solid. B+ at impact block. He would probably immediately be our right guard. But when we look at Caleb Johnson, he's not that bad. He's not really a 69. He probably isn't going to play like a 69, right? I feel like we might want to wait on that. We might want to wait on the guards. Right tackle, we need to get younger. Tight end, that's juicy. Noah Fant is juicy. Jaquan Johnson is juicy. Look at those numbers. 4.5. He's not going to last, guys. He's not going to be there. but I know what the right thing to do is. The right thing to do is to ensure that your future of the franchise is intact, and you got to take a less than sexy pick, and you got to go with an offensive lineman. And with where we're at right now, we can either go with Edwards, Risner at right tackle, or we can go with Ben Schwal or Michael Dieter, because when we look at guard play, we're probably going to need a guy, like instantaneously, right? And when we look at tackle, he's probably not going to play right off the bat, right? It's just not going to happen. We'll have to wait a couple years until we see Risner or Edwards play. We could always trade Cordy Glenn and just bump these guys in there, or Nate Solder again. We could trade him again and just bump these guys in. But, you know, I feel like guard is the way to go. Guard is the way to go. So I'm going to just go ahead and take Ben Schwal, left guard. He's got that 5.7. Dieter had a 6.4 though. B impact, B minus lead, B minus run block. All right, let's take Ben Schwal and then just pray to God that we made the right pick. Wow. Okay. Hey, you know what, guys? That's not bad. That's not bad. He doesn't fit our scheme at a 70, but I feel like we can grow him into being an agile type of guard. I mean, look at it. He's a 75 right now. Some pretty good numbers right there. Acceleration's a 70, 67 speed for a guard. I like it. I like it. All right, I think we did pretty good there. We got our guard, and that only means that Clint Bowling, at 30 years old, now has some competition with the rookie out of Wisconsin. All right, so let's go ahead and keep simulating here and just pray to God that Jaquan Johnson is still there. I don't think he's gonna be. It sucks. Look at it. Look at that. He's sitting right there. I want him so bad. I think he's gonna bring some. If Burfict doesn't bring like enough intensity, I think Jaquan Johnson will. Drew Lock going to the Washington Redskins. I'm not trading picks with the Steelers. They're going Jarrett Stidham. Wow. Okay. Interesting. Troy Dye, right outside linebacker out of Oregon. What's going on here? Jaquan Johnson, the #1 player. Guys, we got to do it. We got to make a move. You can't pass up on that. He's a once-in-a-generational player. He's going to be great. I'm going to go after him. I'm going to go after him. We're going to make a trade with the Houston Texans. And I feel like you guys are going to like this. I feel like they got enough cap room too. All right, we want that pick, Houston. Okay, that's what we want. We want that pick. Do you guys want Gio Bernard? Oh, do you want Gio Bernard? They probably don't. Nope. Okay, so I actually pulled the trigger. All right, what if we moved up? If they're interested in moving up. They're not even interested in moving up. Okay, what if we went... We'll give you our second round. Oh, what am I doing here? Sorry, guys. Sorry. Okay, we'll give you our second round, and then we'll give you a second round for next year. They're interested, but they need more. Okay. What if we decided to do this? It didn't really cost us anything. Okay, all right. Getting close. That's the second round for 2020, by the way. So what if we gave them our third round of this year? Oh, yes! Okay. I don't feel like we gave up a whole lot. It's a round 3 for next year. Brandon Carr didn't cost us much to begin with. And all we did was give them a second round of next year. We gave them our third round for this year, second round for next year, and Brandon Carr. For Jaquan Johnson, and we kept our second round pick, which we can still figure out if we're going to take another offensive lineman at some point or a wide receiver. Like it. Let's get Jaquan. Oh, baby. Yeah, see that, guys? He's a star. 76 overall, and he's a star. Perfect. Doesn't really fit the scheme, but yet again, he's got some peripheral numbers right there that we can work with. And so now that when we look at our depth chart here real quick, we are going to have Ben Schwal right behind Clint Bowling. So we got that for the future. We got Jaquan Johnson right behind Sean Williams. He's already going to take over Fejelim at strong safety as the backup. He's going to get some playing time. Now we have a really good defensive backfield with Jesse Bates and Jaquan Johnson back there, both who can really come up into run support as well. So I like what we did here so far. I think this is good. And remember, it was a third round pick that we gave up plus Brandon Carr. So we don't have Brandon Carr any longer. And it didn't really cost us anything. Plus we saved some money because we traded Brandon Carr. So basically the cornerbacks are still the same thing that we just had last season. So we basically signed Brandon Carr just to trade him away. If you want to look at it that way. And we got a guaranteed stud strong safety in Jaquan Johnson by trading round 3 of this season and a second round. We can deal with that. A second round for 2020. We can handle that. All right, so let's go ahead and keep on simming. Dexter Lawrence. So who knows? Jaquan could have went to them. Wow, the Patriots get Deebo Samuel. Dalton Risner goes off to the Giants. So then now they have Jonah Williams and Dalton Risner on the left and the right. Michael Dieter, the right guard. David Edwards going to the Colts. Brian Lewerke going to the New England Patriots. All right, let's keep on going. Patty Fisher. Jalen Jelks. Martez Ivey out of left guard. Noah Fant. Okay. So Noah Fant is 79. Dang it. Oh, boy. Okay. Well, then, I mean, he's just as good as Tyler Kroft as a rookie, right? Which means he's going to be pretty dang good. TJ Edwards, middle linebacker, going to Cardinals. Anthony Johnson, the wide receiver, going to the Bucks. Levante Taylor, corner out of Florida State, going to hometown, Florida. Kahusti. Ryan Finley, addressing quarterback. Mitch Hyatt, left tackle. All right, Shaquille Quarterman, middle linebacker out of Miami. Let's just get an update here on where we're at with the picks. So David Montgomery's still on the board. DeAndre Baker, Taylor Rapp, strong safety there. Montez Sweat, Amon Richards, Rodney Anderson, Bryce Love, Damian Harris. So some halfbacks, some running backs available here, guys. Big time. Caleb Wilson, Julian Love, a lot of corners. Hey, a lot of corners. Maybe this trade's going to work out for us because then we got some options here at corner. Juwan Johnson there. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson. Tyree Jackson's sitting there at third. Kendall Sheffield right there. Cameron Smith is going to be a pretty good middle linebacker, I believe. Khalil Hodge as well. It's pretty funny. We got Khalil Mack out of Buffalo and then Khalil Hodge out of Buffalo. Here's Isaiah Prince, left tackle. We could probably address out of Ohio State. Could probably nab him at some point too. I mean, we got Ben Schwal. We could easily get Isaiah Prince. Fix that left side of the offensive line. Caleb Wilson going to... Oh, nope, didn't mean to do that. Caleb Wilson going to the Titans at UCLA. Taylor Rapp. Montez Sweat. Taylor Bidas. Connor McGovern. Nope. Dang it, guys. I'm sorry. There's one thing you can count on. I'm going to screw up at some point in these live discussions. DeAndre Baker right ahead of us. Dang it. At 73. Raiders take Julian Love. All right. Let's see who's available now. David Montgomery's still available. Amon Richards, Rodney Harrison. Ooh. This is tempting. That is tempting. Bryce Love's only 5'9". He's basically the same thing, right, as Joe Mixon. So, although it's tempting to have somebody new in there, you still got to look at it like we still have Joe Mixon, right? Damian Harris would be an interesting addition to this squad. He really would. He can pound it, man. I mean, look at that. He's 5'10", 214. Almost like a Mark Ingram type. Don't need defensive tackle. We already addressed these two positions with safety. Herbig out of Stanford. Juwan Johnson, wide receiver. There's Chauncey Gardner-Johnson right there at free safety. But, you know, I really like him. I think he's going to be a good pro. I just don't think it does anything for us as far as where we're looking at right here. Here's Tyree Jackson. What do the quarterbacks look like? Tyree Jackson, Shea Patterson. Running back, we got Damian Harris, like I said. LJ Scott. Power back. A lot of elusive backs in the draft board right now. Wide receivers. Is there going to be a guy that's going to be AJ Green? When you really look at this, is there going to be a guy that's going to be AJ Green at some point? And honestly, guys, I don't really see it other than like Colin Johnson, right? 6'6", B+ spectacular, B catching, B release. Runs a 4.5 though, so he's not that quick. But 4.5's moving. I mean, you gotta give him some credit here. Marquise Brown doesn't do enough with the catching, but he is a speedster. It's 5'11" though. Juwan Johnson, 6'4", also runs a 4.5. Amon Richards, 4.4. This is interesting. It's interesting. Spectacular catches a B+. Release. Catching is not that good. It's tempting. It is tempting. We also have Isaiah Prince on the board at left tackle. Could probably get that left tackle side short up. Anybody late? Not really. Got Brandon Faneca here at left guard. We already addressed left guard though. Center, I didn't scout any of these guys, so it's just too much of a risk for me. Right guard, we're okay. We're okay at right guard. Right tackle, again, I did not scout any of these guys, so again, just too much of a risk. Ends, not interested in ends. Defensive tackles, just not interested. Linebackers, seems like we can get linebackers late. Cameron Smith in the 3rd round. We're in round 2. Keep that in mind. And then we got corners. We got some corners here. Byron Murphy runs a 4.4. C+ in man's, C in zone. It's not worth the 2nd round pick in my opinion. Mark Gilbert probably doesn't run fast enough. Kendall Sheffield. Ooh, 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 ooh. Kendall Sheffield, mid third round. Take a look at this guy. 4'2". He's an athlete. And he's from Ohio State, guys. He runs that zone. He fits our scheme. We might be able to wait on Kendall Sheffield and a corner. Like I said, we don't need safeties. So it seems to me like the way to go here is either quarterback in round 2. Because remember, we already got Ben Schwal, Jaquan Johnson, and now we can get a quarterback. We can get a running back to possibly take over at some point for Giovanni Bernard. Damian Harris is probably the guy that I would pick out of everybody in here. 4'4", 8". I mean, he's 214, so he's got some power. And I've seen him play. He's a pretty damn good running back. Wide receiver, again, you don't necessarily need one right now, right? But is Juwan Johnson, is Amon Richards going to be available at that point? And I don't think that they are. This is tough. Plus, these guys are early third, and Amon Richards is a mid-second rounder. All right, guys, so after much consideration, I'm going to actually go ahead and take Isaiah Prince, the left tackle out of Ohio State. I feel like that's probably the smart thing to do. I was really debating on whether or not I wanted to get Tyree Jackson right now. I mean, he's going to be gone. If I don't make this pick now, he's definitely gone. And the reason why I was really debating on Tyree Jackson was, like I said, is Andy Dalton's probably not the guy, right? Long term, in the next 4 or 5 years, he's probably not going to be around. So we definitely need to have a quarterback in here that we can groom. Either that, or we're going to have to pay somebody to come into Cincinnati, right? These other guys down here, like Jake Browning, he could be a nice little piece that we could groom. Brett Ripien could be a guy that we can groom. Shea Patterson was talked about, but I don't feel like he's much of a passer. That throw accuracy short, throw on the run. He'd be interesting. He'd be nifty. But I think that after all this consideration, got to go with the left tackle. And I even considered looking at Paris Campbell and Colin Johnson as our wide receivers for the future. Hopefully maybe Marquise Brown falls. That would be really cool if he did. Amon Richards just has some catching issues at that C+. Juwan Johnson as well has C+ catching issues. I know Marquise Brown has issues too, but he's probably more likely to fall given that his attributes are in the C range. Maybe Arcega Whiteside falls too. I'm just hoping that these wide receivers fall. But Isaiah Prince is definitely going to have to be our pick here. Fits the scheme. He's from Ohio. Makes sense. 6'6". Got to get a backup left tackle, and he's a 68, right? Which is fine because we're starting to get into the the mid third round ish area, and I think that's going to be okay. So we'll just have to see where everybody else that we were considering, if they get taken here, what their overalls were. Herbig was a 73. Amon Richards was 73. Khaleke Hudson gets taken by the Saints. Juwan Johnson goes to the Texans at 71. So if we took those receivers, they'd be number 4. They'd be the number 4 guy. Mark Gilbert, Derek Brown, Marvell Tell, Tyree Jackson, 69. So he's a 69 overall going to the New York Football Jets. Pretty interesting, especially considering that Sam Darnold is the quarterback there. Chauncey Gardner-Johnson is going to be a beast out there at Chicago. Cameron Smith, middle linebacker, 73. That's a position that we might have taken, right, at middle linebacker. It kind of sucks that we didn't scout him, or else I probably would have taken him. But I feel like we made a good we made a good selection there to get our left tackle of the future. Khalil Hodge, another middle linebacker that we were looking at. David Montgomery, a 78 overall running back, finally gets taken in the 3rd round by the Carolina Panthers. So now they have Christian McCaffrey and David Montgomery. So they're going to be a force to be reckoned with. Ryan Connolly. Sam Mustipher, center out of Notre Dame. Real quick, just taking a look here yet again. I'm so glad we didn't take Bryce Love or Damian Harris, right? They might fall. They could fall into the 3rd by the time we're able to take them. Let's just see what happens here. Uh-oh, there's Rodney Anderson getting taken there. Caden Smith, tight end. Marquise Brown, dang it. Shoot, another wide receiver off the board. Just taking a look at the draft board here yet again. Love Harris, we got Penn State corner. Kendall Sheffield, starting to get up there a little bit. There's Arcega Whiteside. It's always tough, right? It's going to always be tough on us to decide what we're going to do with our next pick. There's Max Sharping down there, but we already got our left tackle. LJ Scott is in there. I did see that. Joe Jackson. Patriots. Ah, dang it. Patriots. Take Arcega Whiteside. You would. Bryce Love. Again, with the Oakland Raiders just kicking our... Not only did they get Preston Brown, and they got some other players too off of our team, now they're going to get Bryce Love. And Fernie Jennings, 73. I was eyeing him a little bit. David Sills. Easton Stick going to the Falcons. Damon Harris goes to the Cleveland Browns. Stanley Morgan, wide receiver. When is our next pick, by the way? Brandon Faneca also got taken as a left guard for the Miami Dolphins. I don't think we're in the 3rd round because I think that's what we traded, I believe. Yes, we traded our 3rd round pick. That was part of that Jaquan Johnson trade. So now we're in the 4th round, so, you know, nothing. We didn't really miss too much, right? I mean, we missed our wide receiver, Arcega Whiteside, and then we missed Bryce Love and Damian Harris. But we still got some good players here. We got Kendall Sheffield up on the board, Colin Johnson, we were looking at him. Trayvon Mullen, I've been eyeing him since the start of our draft process. Devin Singletary isn't too bad. Porter Gustin, that might be a pick that we need to make too. He would fill that that linebacker spot as well. Quarterback Shea Patterson would be, again, like I said, interesting. But because we traded Brandon Carr away, we might need to consider taking a corner. Shea Patterson gets taken by the Seahawks. So that eliminates that. Colin Johnson to the Panthers. Some pretty good players getting taken off the board here. LJ Scott. Huh. To the Titans. Chase Winovich. Gosh. The Lions going to take Jesse Burkett. Eric Dungy. Okay, so now we are on Ziklag. Who are we going to take, guys? We already got some of our dudes taken off the board. Kendall Sheffield. I think that's the obvious pick. I mean, he might even be able to be our kick returner along with Listenby. Levert Hill. You know, he's not as good Man coverage is a C. Kendall Sheffield just fits. Trayvon Mullen doesn't do enough. Myles Gaskin, too much like Joe Mixon. Porter Gustin wouldn't be too bad of a pick either. More of a grindy type of player, but we do need a. But at this point, though, you know, at this point, do we really need to draft a linebacker? Somebody that we could like fill in for free agency. I'd almost rather take Kendall Sheffield because he does something, you know? Like, look at what he can offer you. He's an athlete, right? He's 4'2". He's running 4'2". We got to take Kendall Sheffield. Oh, yeah. Yes. Sweet. All right. Okay, cool. So 73. He's a 73. 73 overall player. And he's a star XP as well. Guys, we're doing good. In this draft, I feel like we're doing well. Who knows? Maybe Porter Gustin falls. Singletary, 76 running back. But again, it's to the point now where if we drafted a running back, you want him to be a little bit different than Joe Mixon. Oh, Porter Gustin's a 72. Yeah, hindsight's 2020. I feel like we should have taken Gustin. Robert Hill's a 71. Benny Snell. Nick Fitzgerald. Wow. Man, the Panthers are having a really good draft. Clayton Thorson. Paris Campbell goes to the Detroit Lions. I could see that happening, actually. They do need another wide receiver. I mean, I know they got Galladay and Marvin Jones and Tate, but Tate's probably gone after this year. Okay. Round number 5, excuse me. Corners up the wazoo. We got some running backs here. Again, it's just too much like Joe Mixon. 5'11", 207. Ty Johnson would not be too bad of a pick here. He's about the same height, a little bit more weight on him, I feel like. Yeah, there's a lot of corners. I think I screwed that one up, guys. Definitely. I feel like it definitely got us on that one. But maybe not. Kendall Sheffield, like I said, he's running 4'2". I think that's pretty valuable. Okay, 5th round. Let's see what we want to do here. 4'6", you're not fast enough. 4'7", definitely not fast enough, but you are a middle linebacker. Jalen Ferguson. That is interesting. I know I said I didn't want to address line, but when you're 6'4", Carl Granderson too, 4'7". Hey, I mean, Carlos Dunlap isn't getting any younger either. Listen to me trying to convince myself, guys.
She said, "What you gonna do if I leave?" I said, "I'ma do me. B.I.G. Everything zoomed in."
I feel like that's something that we might have to consider. Jalen Ferguson, all that might be a little bit of a reach. There's nothing here, guys. Nothing here. I don't want to be forced into a pick like that. Take a look at this guy here. Tyrell Dodson, middle linebacker out of Texas A&M, 6'2", 240. He's a big dude, and he can run. 4'6", can jump a little bit too. Might be able to kind of mold him into a balanced type of linebacker instead of just being a pure run stopper. Bench press so he's strong, so he can get in on that line. Kendall Joseph is interesting, but he's just not strong enough. You know, he's more of a, like I said, pass coverage guy. He's running a 4.7 though, so I don't know how good in pass coverage he's going to be. Let's go ahead and take Tyrell Dodson, just kind of just see how it all pans out. Okay, so he's a 69. He'd be a 67 field general, which is more of our scheme. And honestly, those numbers right there, look at those numbers. Look at the drop-off, 69, 67, 65. So he loses 2 after every archetype, right? Which tells me that he's very balanced. He is very balanced. 83 speed, 80 tackle, 86, 78, 81. Like, play recognition for a rookie is going to be 65. It's pretty solid, guys. Power moves at 69, finesse at 76. Got some good agility. Man coverage is solid. I like Tyrell Dodson. He's not going to be too bad, I don't think. Let's keep on going. We're almost done. Justin Lane. Trayvon Mullen. Kendall Joseph's a 70, so we only missed out on 1 point. Ooh, there's Carl Granderson. Did you see that? Guys, a 72. JaMychal Hasty, 69, so he wouldn't even crack our lineup there. Jalen Ferguson, a 66. Nope, nope, nope. Didn't want to do that. Ty Johnson, 68. Ooh, Christian Miller's a 71. Daniel Wise is 70. Missed out on those guys. Look at all these corners, guys. You could always draft a guy like Jordan. Well, no, he can't. That's way too slow. He cannot be running a 4.8. I think now it's time to take our quarterback. What do you guys think? Brett Ripien, Trace McSorley would be interesting. You know, the thing about Trace McSorley is a winner. Jake Browning, interesting prospect, very accurate, right? BBB, definitely can work with that. But, you know, a B rating is like an 83 or an 84. Still pretty solid. That means he's not going to throw deep at all because he's a West Coast type of guy. Trace McSorley, throw power B, play action B minus. Ripien's got that strong arm, he can rip it. But that accuracy short, kind of what our game is with the wide receivers that we have right now. I'm almost thinking it's got to be McSorley or Browning. What's our wide receiver outlook here? Hunter Renfrow. Receptions type of guy. He might be able to get taken a little bit later, I think, you know? Pretty much ain't got a clue. Itty bitty piggyback off everything I do. But I'm still dropping. Got him looking like James Harden at the awards. Back to you, I'm so into you. For real, bread, like I'm kin to you. If you a 10, I add 10 to you. They be mad when I 10 to you. I think it's time to take our quarterback. Because there's like nobody here that interests me too much. I think I want to take Trace McSorley. I think he's going to be fun. And plus, look at that, guys. So he's got a quick XP rate. Like it. He's a project quarterback, and I think we can deal with that. But I just know he's a winner. He's a winner on the inside. I like this guy. Where did he go? He's from UConn. Dre Jordan. I think he's pretty solid. Let's just try him out. Try him out for fun. I mean, why not? He's a 62 deep threat. He only loses 1 progression point. All right, catching is 69, 93 speed. We can work with this. We can work with him a little bit. And if not, and he doesn't pan out, well, we can cut him, right? All right, so going ahead and moving on through. We're going to finish this draft off. I know this was a very long episode, guys, but I think you guys all enjoyed it. So we'll go to the draft recap, see how we did. All right, let's take a look here. Available funds got knocked down because we did have to sign some of these players. So Bo Benchwall, 75 overall player. Jaquan Johnson, 76. Look at that speed for a strong safety, guys. Love it. Isaiah Prince, we solved left tackle. Solved left guard. A little bit. Kendall Sheffield, 97 speed, so he's a freak athlete. Tyrell Dodson, very fast middle linebacker at 83, so I like to see that. Trace McSorley, third string type of quarterback that we can work with and try to get his XP up a little bit. And then Dre Jordan, we're just kind of hoping and praying that, you know, he kind of works out. This is more of a slot guy, right? So I think this is a pretty good draft. What do you guys think? Leave it in the comment section below. And let me know. Let me know what you guys think. You already saw, if you're kind of following along with teams, you can kind of figure out who everybody drafted. And I think the Panthers probably had the best draft. Let's go and take a look at them. I really do. I think the Panthers had the best draft. Bosa, Ivy, Montgomery, Colin Johnson. Yeah, it was a pretty dang good draft for them. As far as our divisional rivals here, Devin Bush, a 77 player, and look at that, superstar XP rating for him. He's gonna be a beast, man. He's gonna be a beast. That hurts. That really does hurt. Let's go to the Steelers here real quick too. Jarrett Stidham at 73. He just gets that normal. Brian Burns, David Sills, Devin Singletary. He was on the board for quite a while. He gets that quick progression. So they're already planning on life without Le'Veon Bell. Trayvon Mullen, I wonder what he was. Just a normal. Just a normal. The Titans had a pretty good draft too, I feel like. Christian Wilkins, Caleb Wilson, Marquise Brown. We were kind of eyeing him a little bit out of Oklahoma. LJ Scott, 71 overall right now, just a normal. Eyeing him. Yeah, and then Hunter Renfrow. I want to see what Hunter Renfrow is. He's a normal. Dang it. Hunter Renfrow would have been cool in a Bengals jersey. Kind of would have been like Jackson Shipley. If you guys remember Jackson Shipley. All right, let's see who else in the division that we need to take a look at. The Cleveland Browns. DK Metcalf, Noah Fant. 79 and a star rating. Unreal. DK Metcalf, superstar. There's no way we're going to get him, though, at number 9. Connolly, Damian Harris. We're eyeing him. He's got that normal. But look at his numbers there. 79 break tackle. He's a power guy. They give him an elusive rating, but he's a power type of back. All right, so check this out, guys. So they actually moved automatically Ben Schwal to right guard, and they put Johnson behind him. I mean, automatically it helps us out, right? And then we've got Isaiah Prince here at left tackle behind Glenn. We did not fix, not really fix, but we didn't address running back. And then when we've got Core and Listenby, we got some pretty dang good wide receivers as well. Defense, there's Jaquan Johnson, only 5 points behind Sean Williams. And we got Dodson here at 69. And then we got Kendall Sheffield here at corner number 4. So he's the dime corner. I feel like we did good. What do you guys think? We'll get ready for the preseason for next episode, and we'll just do a quick run through of the preseason. Four games. I'm going to guide you guys through it and see how everybody did. And as you guys can see, we're leading off against the Jacksonville Jaguars at home. And that's all I got for you guys. So that is it. I'll see you guys on Sunday for preseason action, week number 1 through 4, and then we'll get into week 1 against the Cleveland Browns on next Thursday. So, guys, I'll see you in the next one. As always, hoo day and peace.